Hey everyone. So, I'm not even going to waste time with the intro. I'm just going to get straight to it. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is by far the best Spider-Man movie ever made. Easily. After a whole year of little to no Spider-Man content, let alone good Spider-Man content, the long-awaited sequel to the previous best Spider-Man movie ever made, Into the Spider-Verse, finally releases, and oh my god, somehow it manages to do everything the first movie did, except way better. This movie is easily the most visually stunning and just visually beautiful movie I've ever seen in my life. I love all the colors, I love just all the different animation and art styles that's used all throughout the film. I especially love the watercolors used in Gwen's universe, for example. This movie overall just feels like a comic book brought to life. I also do like how the movie continues the message of the first movie and asks the question of what it truly means to be Spider-Man. Can you be Spider-Man if you don't have a life-defining tragedy? Is Miles really Spider-Man? The answer to the last question is yes, by the way, before any of you say anything. Miles is Spider-Man, and that movie proves that in the best way possible. The only real negative about the movie, honestly, that I can think of is the way Ben Reilly is treated. He is like super flanderized, and he's basically made into like this overly edgy like 90s parody character, and I guess in general just making fun of edgy superhero stuff, which I do kind of like to a degree. Spot is also a really great villain as well. Miguel O'Hara is also just as good as an antagonist, but Spot really, like, I don't hear enough people talking about him when compared to Miguel, who's great. I love Miguel as well, but Spot, I feel like we should really should talk about him, especially since he's always been a pretty obscure, like lesser known Spider-Man villain that no one really talks about. So I'm glad this movie was able to really like tap into the potential that the character really does have as a whole, and genuinely making him like terrifying. I really do have to wonder though, like how exactly they're gonna defeat him. Like he's basically this Eldritch like multiversal god now, so I really have no idea how they're gonna beat him in the next movie, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. And from what I've heard, we're gonna be waiting a while. The next movie, Beyond the Spider-Verse, will most likely get it delayed, and honestly I really do hope that it does, considering how long Across Spider-Verse took to make. How they even managed to make a Spider-Man movie, or just not even just Spider-Man movie, just a movie in general that's this good and this just like ambitious, and the amount of time it took them is beyond me. Like, especially considering the unfortunate workplace situation all the animators were put in. So for their sake, I really do hope that Beyond the Spider-Verse does get a delay and they get as much time to work on this movie as possible, and they aren't rushed or forced to do nothing but just work on it and not get treated well. I honestly don't care how long it has to take. We all know it'll be worth it anyway. So yeah, I really don't know what else to say. There's there's already a bunch of reviews and videos and video essays that do a way better job of explaining and really overanalyzing this movie better than I could. So just go watch one of those if you want a more in-depth look. I really just wanted to spend like 5 minutes just gushing about this movie and saying how much I loved it, and it's pretty much become my new personality at this point. I really don't know what's gonna happen with this movie or in this movie, but I do know this: Craven probably won't be a good movie.